Em, compartir pantalla. Bueno, ready. Um, Hi, my name is Anadalay Segura Olivares. I am third semester of the marketing. This is my default quarter part of reading of my exposition, presenting this exhibition by giving a video class where I will develop the theme presented simple. Since it is a very interesting topic and it will help you to form sentences like the aforementioned in the present simple and very easy way to structure. In addition, that will help you to develop a little more English, where also with the help of videos, exercise and explanation of it use etc. You can understand it in an easy way. In the present simple, what is it? The simple present is one of the verb tense in English. Its correct use is very important because it is used for multiple situations. It is part of the vocabulary that allows you to describe the actions that occur when you're speaking or that are part for your daily routine. And habits and routines and orderly transport in two situations. And within these verb tense, three are also activities mentioned that can be programmed as well as situations that are permanent and are not questionable situations. The present simple, it is in general the first tense that is issues since it is done with a simple way to understand other tenses. This time has its own rules and has a structure that must be identified first to ensure that is being used correctly. And we using the present simple. The present simple, it is explaining that the simple present must be used to talk about habits and frequencies verbs. And frequencies verbs or are verbs. Always, usually, often, rarely, ever, hardly ever, never, hardly, never. This is frequencies of verbs. And things that do not change or that are generally true, for example, the country or city where a person lives. You must consider that the simple present can be used in sentences that not only affirm certain actions, but also in those that deny some event. To know when and how it is correct to use this verb tense, and the first thing, um, the grammatical rules. The grammatical rules, the one of the grammatical rules that are or fundamental use for the simple present to use it correctly is with pronouns. The kinds of words that are used to refer to people, animals, or things without naming them. Basically, the present simple is divided into groups of pronouns. And point one is I, you, they, I, you, we, they. In this group are the pronouns in the first person, and they are used to talk about oneself or about other people. The point two, he, she, it, for things or animals. In this group, the pronouns refer to the person, but in a singular way. The other rule refers to the three types of sentences that can have the present simple: affirm, deny, or ask. So that they can be used correctly and understand when someone else uses it. And the structure, the present simple. And to conjugate pronouns in affirmative sentences, the verb has to be in a base form without the to, and is used in two ways: to indicate the infinitive to word, and as a preposition. This explains the relationship between two or more words, like I went to work, which is I went to work. For the affirmative of the present simple, the verb does not have either is at the end or ing. In this way, the verb remains in its base form when you want to talk about situations that are done on a daily basis. And the pronouns I, you, we, and they go to the beginning of the sentence. For example, I sometimes write cartoons. The basic formula will be is subject plus verb plus complement. Is affirmative sentences. The structure. This rule only applies to always affirmative sentences when using personal pronouns he, she, it, nouns, and proper nouns in the singular. The verbs is modified according to this if the verb in x, xh, ch, or o, else, I am, and c is added at the end. For example, fits, fishes, weeks, wishes. If the verb ends in a different combination, is added at the end. For example, work, works, and eat, eats. If the verb ends in G, but before it has a vowel, is added at the end. For example, play, plays, pie, pies. If the verb ends an I and G, but before it has a consonant, the G is removed and I, E, us. I am sorry. For example, fly, flies, study, studies. Sentences, present simple, affirmative. Example, I go to class twice a week. She reads the newspaper every day. Mr. Green works with my uncle. And sentences negative. In this case, to write negative sentences, the auxiliary do must be used when we uses the pronouns. Which is the pronouns I, you, we, they, and the auxiliary does. When we use the pronouns he, she, it, nouns and proper nouns in singular. The basic formula will be and is subject plus auxiliary do or does. Negative don't, doesn't, must not, plus verb plus complement. For example, he does not live in Boston. He doesn't live in Boston. Is different. We do not go to the movies every weekend. We don't go to the movies every weekend. Difference. And the questions. To ask question in the present simple, the passing formula varies a bit and it like this. Basic formula will be is the auxiliary do or does plus subject plus verb plus complement plus interrogative. For example, do you study English every day? Does she watch TV at does she watch TV at 9 p.m.? There are other types of questions which are double question. These are question words and they are used to specify the question and they look like this. Who, what, where, when, why, how. The basic formula will be double question plus auxiliary do or does plus subject plus verb plus complement plus interrogative. For example, who is your English teacher? What do you like to eat for breakfast? Where do you live? When does she practice tennis? Why do they always have to be always late? And how are you? Use. The present simple is used to talk about things that usually happen. It is usually used with adverbs of time. Is a mention and the one positive. Always, every day, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, hardly, ever, never. For example, I always talk to my mother on Sunday. He never eats vegetables. They usually learn something new in class. And sentence in simple present. For example, I live in the United States. You work at the library. He finishes his homework. She goes to the gym. It flies far away. We practice her math lessons. You read scientific articles, they play with my dog, and simple present affirmative shows and underwrite the correct options for exercise. And mechanics usually work at 9 o'clock. Two options, start or start. Two, exercise. My mother, Daniela, in France. Two options, life, life, lives. Three, the light of choice. Two options, repair, repairs. For my parents on the second floor, life or lives. Five, Ariel to work by bake, go, goes. In the negative, write the verb read in the present negative. One, the light not to deal to money people. Two, to train not to live until 5. Three, you not to learn very fast. 4, elephants not to live in Paris. Steve and his daughter not go shopping together. The questions exercise. Answer the questions about the things you usually do. Use the present simple in your answer. What time do you get up on weekend? Where do you eat meat? What do you often have for dinner? Where do you live? How many hours do you usually spend on WhatsApp? And the finish my exposition. The answer the sentences in affirmative. One exercise. Mechanics usually work at 9 o'clock. Answer start. My mother, Daniela, in France. My mother, Daniela, lives in France. The light repairs all shows. For my parents, lives on the second floor. Ariel goes to work by bike. And the negative answer the sentences. One, the lie do not, the lie not to talk, the lie don't to tell to many people. Two, to train don't to live, don't to live until 5. 3, you don't to learn very fast. For elephants, don't to live in Paris. Steve and his daughter don't to go don't 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 to go shopping together. Sorry. And the questions. Answer the questions about the things you usually do. Use the present simple in your answer. What time you get up on the weekend? Answer. What time does you get up on weekend? Question 2. Where do you eat meat? Where does you eat meat? Answer question 3. What do you often have for dinner? What does you often have for dinner? Where do you live? Where does you live? How many hours do you usually spend on WhatsApp? Answer the question. How many hours does you usually spend on WhatsApp? And the finish is in my exposition.